How are you, Trent?
Rich, what's up, buddy? I was nervous, man, when I got up there and looked out down Broadway and couldn't see the end of the mass of people.
I was going to ask.
My hand was shaking. My hand was shaking holding that card.
I was going to ask that, Trent, because the way we were situated, we were off to the side, as you know. I didn't have the clear, straight view shot up Broadway from the state. What did that look like? That massive humanity in front of you?
I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I've been to Times Square for New Year's Eve, but you never have that perspective. You're never high enough.
Right.
You're so high on that stage that I don't know. I don't have the vocabulary to describe it. I mean, it's endless. It's like an ocean of people, and you can't see to the end of Broadway. I mean, it was endless. It's as if the people went off into infinity. It was crazy. I'm not joking. I don't get nervous very often. My hand was sweating and the card was shaking as I got up there.
What was your draft night like when you got drafted, Trent?
So different. I mean, back then I was one of the kids in New York, and I was supposed to go 1, then I was supposed to go 3, and I ended up going 6. And, you come in, you have a dinner, you wake up, you do the day, you go to the draft, you sit in a chair like right off to the side of the stage. There was no green room. There was no cameras. I think there was a camera like roaming, a handheld or something, and you get drafted, and then you're like done. Then you're on a plane to go to your city to do a press conference. I mean, it had 1/5 the sizzle not even that, 1/50th the sizzle as what it has now.
It's amazing what it has turned into. Trent Dilfer. Trent.
It's so cool. And by the way, couldn't be a bigger fan of what it's become. I mean, I just think it is truly an epic moment for the kids. You guys crush it.
Thanks, bud.
I mean, it's an NFL property, and you guys you have the best people talking about it, and you have fun with it. And I like your new glasses, by the way. You got your computers rocking. And
my beard.
I just think it's a great event.
Yeah, I got a text from Trent. He likes the beard, Chris. He likes the beard.
I like it.
Yeah, we both.
The beard glasses combo. And then the beige suit was really nice as well.
Thank you, Trent. I really appreciate that. Trent Dilfer here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, let's start with the 6th pick of this draft, because that's the one that people are flipping out about, and they still are in the New York metropolitan area. What did you think of the pick of Daniel Jones and the fit for him with Shermer and the Giants?
Yeah, again, like most of my answers, it's long-winded and complex, but I like the fit. I hate where he was picked. I mean, his potential does not justify the 6th pick of the draft. I think that's a consensus. He was not overly productive. He's not overly talented. He didn't win at a high clip. He didn't necessarily get the best from the least. He didn't do the things from a productivity standpoint that justify that pick, nor does the talent justify. He's a good athlete, not an elite athlete. He's a good thrower. He's not a great thrower. He's a really good leader and a great kid, so maybe that's the intangible part may fit. But you know what he is? I think they got tricked by he's well-trained. And I think that's where the quarterback discussion gets sticky around draft time. Is some evaluators look at training and confuse it with talent and potential. And then some look at talent and potential and confuse it with, he can be trained. And there's this delicate balance of both, that you need a certain amount of juice, talent, and you need a certain amount of proof that your training is transferable to the NFL game. Daniel's a well-trained player with above average juice. So it does not justify where he's picked. And I'm like both. I think they could have gotten him in the teens, in the 20s, and maybe in the 30s.
Wow. So, yeah, because Gettleman said there was no way that he'd be there at 17. You don't see that.
Well, who was going to take him? The Redskins weren't going to take him over Haskins. No chance. The Redskins are doing backflips. They got Dwayne Haskins. Kevin O'Connell was my Elite 11 coach that coached Dwayne Haskins when he was at the Elite 11. He has a rich history with Dwayne Haskins. He's from the area. Like, that was a no-brainer. Gettleman, there's no way you can justify saying that the Redskins were going to take him. So who was going to take him? Did the Dolphins fall in love with him? I doubt it. Like, that's just not – nobody was going to take him.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to argue with anything that you're saying right now. So now, you think it was right for Haskins to watch the drafting of Daniel Jones, as we've seen in the video of him watching his phone and just shake his head, kind of laugh a little bit, huh?
We need more competitors like that. I'm at a high school right now where everybody's trying to be nice all the time. Being an elite competitor, you need that chip on your shoulder. That is how you respond. Every NFL quarterback watches another NFL quarterback when they're in game prep. It's like, why is that guy going to the Pro Bowl? I'm better than him. That's what elite competitors think. That's how they feel. That's how they respond. If anybody is making fun of Dwayne Haskins and how he responded, they've never competed at the razor's edge. They've never felt what the tip of the sword feels like at the highest moment of pressure. I mean, that is what we do. Maybe it's not politically correct, but that's how we respond to those types of things.
And we're going to see, assuming it all does work out, obviously, for both kids, twice a year, Daniel Jones versus Haskins, too. Giants, Redskins, NFC East. I mean, that's some good filet mignon steak there, Trent, right?
It is, but my fear, Rich, is that Daniel Jones just became Christian Ponder, Blaine Gabbert, Jake Locker.
Why?
Because that draft is the greatest example of overdrafting quarterbacks in my lifetime, or my time of following the draft closely. I mean, those are three quarterbacks that were probably second, third round picks. That went, I think the latest was 15, if I can remember correctly. Maybe even 11 was the latest of that group. And you knew the team was invested because they have to try to prove themselves right. So they give these guys a pretty long leash. All of them got a pretty long leash on their first teams. But it was pretty evident early on that, and I like all three of the guys, and it makes me sick that I have to even criticize them late. But their careers panned out that they had giant gaps in their game and they weren't ready to play right away. And I'm afraid if Eli only plays 1 year, or if the New York crowd calls for Eli's head and they got to throw Daniel in there too soon, that he'll be exposed because his training will only get him so far. And he doesn't have the juice like a Kyler Murray or a Dwayne Haskins or even a Drew Lock in Denver to carry him through those times. Because that's what you need. When you don't have it figured out, and I'm the poster boy for this, when you don't have it figured out and you're literally dying out there, you better have enough physicality and toughness and grit and swag to get through it. Because if you don't, they're going to get rid of you. And those three guys I'm talking about, Locker, Ponder, Gabbert, really nice kids, great kids, good husbands, good fathers, good teammates, great guys. Maybe quite not enough juice to carry him through those dark moments. And that's what he's going to need. And I don't know if he has it.
Trent Dilfer.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope the kid makes 9 Pro Bowls. I love being wrong on quarterbacks or I'm critical. I hope he makes 9 Pro Bowls. But that's what it looks like right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. Trent Dilfer here on the Rich Eisen Show. So it stands to reason what we've been talking about with Kyler Murray being taken first overall. Good fit with the coach, and they were drafting with Steve Keim and the Cardinals after the pick to just keep supplementing what they're building anew there. Trent, would you agree with that?
Yep. I thought they did a great job. I mean, it's a great fit. It's a unique talent. It buys them, like we talked about when I did your show before the draft, it buys them some time to figure out pass protection, both from a talent standpoint and a scheme standpoint, because he's hard to get down. Like, he's just going to be hard to bring down. He'll make plays. He'll be inconsistent. He'll be wildly inconsistent for a while, but he'll have enough splash and sizzle and savior in him to let that leash get longer. He'll fill the stands. He'll get his teammates excited because there's nothing NFL guys like more than playmaking. When players in a locker room see playmakers, they go, okay, well, he can mess up 4 or 5 things as long as he can make a play. And that'll buy him time. It'll buy them time. I don't think they got enough out of Rosen, but I'm sure there's a backstory to that. Keim's not an idiot, known him a long time. I'm sure they were trying to shop him around as much as they could. I think what killed them was that when McShay came out and guaranteed that Murray was going to get drafted a few days before the draft, Todd McShay, DJ, Bucky, these guys don't come out 100% sure of anything unless they're 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happened, I think it was Tuesday, if I can remember right, when I saw Todd go 99.9%, this is happening, I think every general manager says, well, that's coming from an owner. That's not coming from a general manager. That's not coming from a team president. That's coming from an owner. And when an owner says this is going to happen, and then Todd McShay says it's going to happen, then his trade value goes way down. So that's my take on that. So they didn't get enough for Rosen, but they did a really good job. And this kid is going to be lightning in a bottle. I mean, it's just he's been that way since he was. I remember coaching when he was like 14. He was a freshman in high school. I remember seeing him at a camp, and he was tiny, but he already had electricity in him that very few kids have ever. And he's gonna be one of those poster boys for the NFL.
Trent Dilfer here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's talk, Rosen. What do you think of the fit there in Miami? New coach, new system, again for this kid who you've known for a long time as well. He is all grown up through the way that I think he handled everything, Trent. And now, though, you know he's going to a team that has coveted Tua for quite some time. What are the odds that this can happen to him again, unless this is really a good fit? They're bringing in a Patriots-type system that I think suits him well from everything that I've seen and heard. What are your thoughts on this with Rosen getting an opportunity in Miami?
I'll just the first part second because I don't really know that much about it. I do know about the fit. The fit is perfect, and that's what I text Josh when it happened. I was just like, dude, great fit. Believe it or not, it hurts now, but you'll be thankful for this. You're going to an academic system. And that's what Josh needs is an academic approach to football. Highly intellectual, a lot of burden put on the quarterback, a high-level sophistication in both scheme and training. That's what will bring the most out of him. Josh Rosen needs to be challenged. He needs every single day to feel like everybody is challenging him. It's Aaron Rodgers. He's basically Aaron Rodgers' clone in how they demand excellence from everybody. And it brings more out of them when you put that burden on him. And that's what the Patriot way is. And that's what they're bringing to Miami. Plus Caldwell, who has a track record with dealing with all kinds of academic-type quarterbacks, maybe the most cerebral one of all time in Peyton Manning. So it is brilliant. It's a brilliant fit for Josh. Now, the second part of it, I didn't know that. I didn't know that they've coveted Tua, and you know how I feel about Tua. And maybe that changes their approach. I honestly, I don't have words for that because I didn't even know that was in play. If that happened to him again, wow, now that might be too much for anybody to handle. But I think for the time being, Josh is in a really good spot. And Fitz, I mean, Fitz is a guy that's there who's going to compete with them. He's not going to sugarcoat anything. He's going to pull practical jokes on them. But he's also going to give them the keys to the NFL car as a quarterback. Meaning, like, here's the secret. Here's the stuff behind the veil. Here's the stuff that like 100 people know. There's about 100, 150 of us that know the stuff that really happens, and Fitz is one of them. And he's going to be able to give Josh all the stuff. And when you know the stuff, it can speed up your learning curve exponentially faster than what a coach could tell you.
Last thing for you, Trent Dilfer here on the Rich Eisen Show. Last thing for you here. Drew Lock to Denver, Finley to Cincinnati. Let's talk briefly about the kids that were taken on the next couple of rounds and where you think the best opportunity to succeed. Stidham in New England as well, obviously. What do you think the best drafted other quarterback wound up in a quality spot?
I think Locke, Stidham, equally great picks. Both, I think, will be multi-year starters because they'll have a little bit of time to sit and learn from really good quarterbacks, one learning from the best of all time. And I know, again, Jared Stidham and I go way back, and he's always wanted to be more Tom Brady-ish. He's just always been in systems that don't allow him to be Tom Brady-ish. So, again, I think he'll thrive with the academia part of the game. Drew Lock, Elway's coveted him for a long time. He fits what they want to do. I think he'll be a really good back to the defense play action type quarterback, much like Flacco is. So I think he'll get a year or two of training of how to play that type of game instead of being a spread guy. I think he'll be an action guy. He's got the traits to be a really elite action guy where you're pushing the ball, 15 to 40 yards down the field on a regular basis and maximizing your arm talent. The Finley one was weird to me because if you're trying to get rid of Andy Dalton, then draft somebody different than Andy Dalton. I think they drafted a poorer version of Andy Dalton. He's got less traits, probably a little more academic. Again, I keep wearing that word out, but it's true. A little more academic than Andy, but less juice. That one, that to me did not seem like a home run pick. I thought there were other guys that would bring more immediate value to trying to replace Andy Dalton than Ryan Finley. But Ryan Finley is also a guy that has gotten better every year. He has gotten more athletic every year. He shows, 2 years ago, you watched this film, you're like, no chance. Last year, you're like, okay, now he's starting to show some juice. So he might be one of those late bloomers, a la Tom Brady, that actually becomes a better athlete and a higher performer when more is expected out of him.
Trent, you're the man. I could listen to you for absolute days, and thank you. I can't wait to chat already. Next time,
buddy.
You're the man.
Anytime for my original TV mentor. Taught me more than anybody, so thank you.
You're the man, Trent. You take care, bud. It's Trent Dilfer at Dilfer's Dimes.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.